Hi, it's Wasabi. Welcome back to the channel. Got a battle on the Muravanka map, and it's Strawwoods from one of our clan. Just recently joined, and he's in E75, Tier 9 German heavy tank. Now we know this tank got some buffs about a year ago to the frontal armour, particularly to the turret, so it's got a pretty good hull down position now. Let's see what gun he's running. Alright, 128mm, 530 average damage, 311 pen for the premium, and 246 for the standard round. Now, he's in a tier 10 battle, so it's tier 8 to tier 10, so he's middle tier. So with that pen, particularly with the premium raid, you should be able to deal with tier 10s, and the standard round certainly enough for most tier 8s. So anyway, it's heading to the Magic Forest and getting to the zero line. I would think there's some good hold down positions there, but they're at the back, so they sort of depend on the enemy pushing in. Oh, I saw a tree fall there, but it's a bit hard to see where that was. It's probably that Char Mill 75. Never got an answer to what the abbreviation stands for, but that's alright. Now, enemies lost their light tank, LT432, and looks like there's been a bit of a loss on Strawwood side as well, and they lost a bit of health from their Charpature 4. Alright, so these are the hold down positions. Pretty useful in clan wars to defend the zero line, but it does sort of depend on the enemy pushing up a bit, and you can see they're probably still at the back there, nothing really visible yet. The BZ has gone to a fairly forward position. Oh, here we go. Tank's just popping out. Alright, so he's managed to get one hot shot in and doing very nice damage there, slightly above his standard or average damage. See the tank's just going over the rolls and puts another nice shot in there with the T44, so no problem going through them with his standard rounds there. Unfortunately they lost their BZ, taken out by Badger, so that's tier 10 TD up in front. The 30 that's next to Strawwoods took out the T44. Alright, so time to push up a little bit. Okay, here we go. Took some damage on his tracks there, but just see the enemy's quite a bit closer. There's the Badger as well. And here we're just running the new patch that came out this morning, so the mods aren't up to date at this point, so we're not getting some of the information we normally get from the UI. So I'll just have to bear with that. Anyway, Strawwood's backing up to get into a more hull down position, and you can see he's just been caught out in the middle, exposing his lower front plate, and lost a bit of health and his ammo rack, but managed to get a repair going just in time to avoid further damage, and here we go. But Badger might pay the price for sitting there in the open. Strawwoods again back in a hull down position relative to the threat that he's got. So backs down just while he's on reload. And of course the E75 does have a commander's hatch, and it is a weakness, but it's pretty slim, and as long as it keeps moving it's going to be fairly well protected. Alright, there's the Badger again, lower front plate. Fortunately that didn't even seem to connect, so a bit of a hurried shot perhaps, or could be a ghost round. I don't know, I never really sort of come across real evidence of ghost rounds, but I know they do happen from time to time, mostly due to lag, I would think. Alright, so he's doing some good trades here. He's lost about half his health, but he's got about 2.5 times his own health, or sorry, more than his own health in hit points. And Tortoise pushing up, just misses the commander's hatch on top of the Tortoise. I've got a side shot there on the Conqueror. and he manages to send him back to the garage. So his team doing relatively well here. They're 4 tanks up, and they've got a very good lead in terms of hit points, but this is a pretty tough battle here. Need to get rid of this tortoise, and he can aim for the commander's hatch again. It's a relatively large target on the tortoise, and normally when they're in a city map they can protect that via walls, but you see the big hole in it there. And he just wants to get his lower plate away from the tortoise, and he can probably put another round in there. Yes, he does. Takes him down to 42 hit points. So if he can get rid of the tortoise, then he can start rounding up the badger as well. He's already bounced 3.5k nearly. Not worth shooting at the roof of the badger there, but can come up from the top and get a bit of a side shot. Now, knowing that there's probably not a whole lot in behind, although there is a Shrek back there somewhere. If he goes up too high, he might be taken out. Now, the badger getting muscled, and he gets the side shot and gets the kill. So, brings up 4.5k there for Strawwoods. In fact, exactly 4.5k. Not often you see that. It's rounded off very nicely. And he's managed to preserve his hit points from that earlier engagement, so he's in a good position here. Enemies pull back a little bit. No, actually they're about the same, so but they've been losing tanks at the same rate that the enemy has since the last time we looked. But they've still got a massive hit point advantage there. And just motoring through the forest here at 25 kilometers per hour. It is a heavy tank. You do get reminded of that from time to time. Now luckily he's got some scouts out in advance, so he knows the zero line is clear right to the corner, which is a good sign. That means the enemy has sort of moved back perhaps to the K line, but more likely in the corner and on the back of the hill, so not quite in a position yet to get targets there. It needs to be a bit further forward. Just got to keep mashing that W key. It hits a peak of 44 kilometers per hour going downhill, which is always good. Alright, enemy starting to melt a bit, so it's going to have to get further forward to try and get some more damage. In fact, they've lost all their tier 10, so now it's just 2 tier 9s and tier 8, and there's only 2,500 hit points left, so yeah, not a whole lot more that Strawwoods can do, and he's suggesting to his team to get on cap. Now this is probably going to be more to flush them out than anything else, and the targets are popping up. Now there goes another one. This goes to Shrek. They've lost the T10, and now it's just one tank left, and in fact that's the game. So there you go, a 4.5k game there for Strawwoods, plus another 1,500 of assisted damage. Let's go and look at the detail. So we've got the results here, 4.5k of damage and 2 kills, and he's got another 1,500 of assisted damage there, so that's 6k of combined, which is really nice. And he also blocked 3,450 hit points of damage, which is about 1k more than his own hit points, and that's given him the Steel Wall Award, and he's earned the Ace Tanker Mastery Badge as well. Now, just as a reminder, that puts you in the top 1% of players in that tank for the last 7 days, so pretty good result there. So let's have a look at the team score. So he's finished on top of EXP with 1327 base, and in fact topped the damage there amongst all the tanks there, so none of the tanks, including the tier 10s, did more than 3.6, it looks like, the Leopard one. And on the enemy side, the Badger that he was battling came out on top, but not in a really significant way, doing just over 2k in terms of experience, and the top damage there being a Leopard PDA, which yeah, interesting there on the map. Anyway, that's put him, yeah, basically as the best player there, and a bit of a carry, particularly in terms of his flank, so really helpful. Let's have a look at how that worked out in terms of cost. So he ended up firing 14 shots, 11 hits and 9 penetrations. He had all the reserves running, so very nice personal reserves, battle payments from the clan, as well as missions from Holiday Ops. And by using judicious choice of ammunition and standard consumables, he's not spent a whole lot of money, so he's made a very tidy profit of 106k at tier 9, which is always nice. So great game there from Strawwoods. So I'm sure we'll get more vision of him in the future in different tanks and on different maps, and I'm looking forward to that to myself. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. It certainly helps get it across more people. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, have a look at what we've got in terms of content, and yeah, make a decision to see whether you want to subscribe. We'll have more great content to follow. Thanks very much for watching.